Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Isha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaurdaye Pushpavanato Chitra Sandau Tamonudau Granthera Arambhakori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinirasmarana Haya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Adi Lila, chapter 4, the confidential reasons for the appearance, the Lord's appearance. So we read till text number 54, chapter 4, text 54 last time. So let's continue with the next verse, text number 55. So just to recap, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is throwing more light on this subject now. What subject? The principal reason why the Lord appeared. Radha Krishnaya Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasma Ekat Manav Api Bhuvi Pura Deha Bhedam Gatautahu Chaitanyakhyam Prakatam Adhuna Tadvayam Chakyam Aptam Radha Bhava Dyuti Savalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these transcendental identities have again united in the form of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Purport. This text is from the diary of Srila Swarupa Damodar Goswami. It appears as the 5th verse of the 14 verses of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So this text was also there in the text number 5 of Adi Lila, chapter 1, text 5. So basically, Radha and Krishna are eternally one. And Srimati Radharani is the internal pleasure-giving potency, Ladini Shakti. Shri Radha Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat. And now the two have become one. The two have again become one. And who is that one? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Shri Krishna Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the combined form of Radha and Krishna come together. So we discussed that in Adi Lila 1.5. Over there, there is detail, and this is a quite often this verse is quoted. But again, now we will dive deeper into this reason. So basically, from this point onwards, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami till next 102 words, 55 to 102, basically is explanation of Adi Lila 1.5, the 14 root verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the rest is basically explanation. So let's see, X56. Yes, who didn't get chance yesterday? Moksha Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Text 56. Radha Krishna ek atma doi dedari aneyona vilase rasa aswadana kari. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two different bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Purport. The two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. The above description of Radha Krishna from the diary of Srila Swarupa Damodar Goswami is considered explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoying in two. Sri Krishna is the potent factor and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other, any more than we can separate fire from heat. Everything is absolute, is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in the relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of Mahabhagavata devotee. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium of the uh, transmitting uh, the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavana therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Uh, sorry, Prabhuji, is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As she is the medium of transmitting the living entities to the service of Sri Krishna, devotees in Vrindavana therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as the loving servitors of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned soul from the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationships with the Lord. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are primarily the role of pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is omnipotent form of the transcendental existence, knowledge, and bliss in full. His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called Chit or Samvit, which expands the transcendental form of the Lord. Finally, the same potency plays as the pleasure giving medium. It is known as Haladini or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus, the Lord manifests his internal potency in three transcendental divisions. Hare Krishna. So in this, Srila Prabhupada is again telling us that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is none other than combined form of Srimati Radharani and Śrī Krishna, and he is telling that how Śrī Krishna is the powerful, and Srimati Radharani is the power, and Srimati Radharani is more merciful than Śrī Krishna, as she's our mother, and also she loves Śrī Krishna so much so that she wants fallen people like me to serve him. So she uh, she acts as a medium to uh, like we offer flower garlands and we keep it in Srimati Radharani's hand so that she can give our gift to Sri Krishna. So this way she help us, and when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with the heart of Srimati Radharani in Kali Yuga, so he is even more merciful than Srimati Radharani, as he uh, patra apatra dekhe nahi. So he is the one who doesn't even sees that the people are deservable or not, and he's just ready to give Krishna prem to everyone, Mahamantra to everyone, and he's even ordering Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to go and beg to ask people for chanting. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we can see is even more merciful than Srimati Radharani. And here Srila Prabhupada is telling that how Lord divides means Lord expands himself in three different energies: Sat, Chit, and Anand. And yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. This is a nice verse which devotees can try to learn, not very difficult. Radha Krishna ek atma. They are one self. Dui dehadhari. Deha means body. Deha navasmin yatha dehe. Dui deha. They take two bodies for Anyonya vilase rasa aswadana khori. Why they take two bodies? To enjoy each other, to increase the rasa. Anyonya vilase rasa aswadana. Prema rasa aswadana. That's the main reason. And that same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically in the form of Radha and Krishna. And the last paragraph talks about the internal energy, the Sat potency, the existential potency, the Samvit potency or the Chit potency, and the internal pleasure potency, that is the Ladini Shakti. Pralada Lada Daini, right? Pralad, the one who gives pleasure to Pralad. Pralad. One who is always in Prakrishta Rupena Alad, always in pleasure. Why? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na sochati na khanchati. Who is always in the Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakritim Ashritam. They're always under the shelter of the internal energy. As we were discussing yesterday, the jivas have a choice to either serve the spiritual energy or to serve the material energy. But the Mahatmas, great souls, Katwang Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, etc., pure souls, they are serving the internal energy, the Sat potency, Chit, Ananda, Ladini potency. So let's see further, text 57. Yes, Prabhu?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 57. Shei dui eko ebe Chaitanya Gosai, Raso Aswadite dohe hoila ekothai. Now to enjoy Rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So already we know that actually Radha and Krishna, they divided, they were one soul, but they divided into two bodies to enjoy the transcendental rush, and then they again combine together. That's what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying here. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, back to you. Please advocate.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So these subjects may be a little hard to comprehend, certainly, that because we cannot comprehend how two can become one. We are talking about transcendental. Two becomes one, and one is equal to two.
Prabhu, Hare Kṛṣṇa, I just want to share a few other things here.
Sam.
With your permission. Actually, so Krishna wants to enjoy the highest. Well, we will see in the later in the some of the chapters. I don't remember. Srila Prabhupada explained that in the we know that there are 5 different rasas mainly. Actually, all of them culminate in the conjugal rasa. Means in the conjugal rasa, there is Daisya, Shokya, Vatsulya, all these loving relationship exchange, they are also there in the conjugal rasa. So Radharani, actually, as we know that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Radha Krishna ekatma dui dehodhari. They are one soul, but they become two, just two. Ananya biloshe rasa ashadan kori. Ananya means that is time immemorial. They are enjoying them. One is, as Srila Prabhupada explained there, that one is potent energy and the other one is energetic, from whom the energy comes. And we will see that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is also saying in the later, we will see that all the coward damsels in Braja, they are actually Radharani's expansion. Means Radharani, Kai Buha Swarupa. That Bengali word. Kai means Deha, Buha Swarupa. Means they are expanded potency of Srimati Radharani. So I just wanted to share that because what we can see here, that Krishna doesn't do his relationship with anybody, not like me or anybody. So what's our role here? Our gurus are actually manjaris. Manjaris are the they are younger than the Shokis, Radharani's Shokis. So they are also Radharani's expansion, like Srila Rupa Manjari, Srimati Rupa Manjari. All the Manjaris are the expansion. And we are the servant of those Manjaris. And we serve them and they serve Radharani. That's how we get the mercy. I just wanted to share with that. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, we can now read the next verse. Anyone wants to read? Didn't get a chance yesterday.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Can I read?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Text 58. Ithi lagi age kori tar bibaron, jaha hoite hoy gaurer mohima kathon. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling here the position of Radha and Krishna. To know that position, that will manifest the glory of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you so much. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Radha and Krishna put together. Right? Therefore, if one understands or reads about the description of Radha and Krishna, and then you put them together. So, as Prabhuji mentioned about the energy and the supreme potent. So let's see, text 59.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I can read.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranam, of Srila Prabhupada. Text number 59. Radhika hayena Krishnera pranaya vikara swarupa shakti haladini nama yanahara. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimati Radharani is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his eternal energy called Haladini. Hare Krishna Prabhu. So we can, as you have already said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So Srimati Radharani is the transformation of Krishna's love, and she is the internal energy of called Haladini. Prabhuji, so we can understand that from Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. So can we say that Radharani is internal potency, right? And so it will be like Vishnu Tattva, Prabhuji. That's what we have to understand, right, Prabhuji?
We don't generally call Radharani as Vishnu Tattva. She is in like the internal pleasure potency. She is there to serve. The classic example, which you can understand that one time when Senior Vaishnava was explaining that we put Tulasi at the feet of the deities of Vishnu Tattva, right? Like Nrsimhadev we can put, Krishna we can put, and all the let's say other like Ram we can put, but we don't put Tulasi at the feet of Radharani. We can give in the hands because she is always in the mood of serving Krishna. She's that's the pleasure potency. So, but yes, she is none other than the Supreme Lord. She is Bhagavan. There is no doubt in that. She is Bhagavan, but in the mood of to give pleasure to the Lord, to the internal pleasure potency. So.
Okay, so if somebody asks Prabhuji, like we have three tattvas, right? Vishnu Tattva, Shiva Tattva, Jiva Tattva. So if somebody asks, Radharani, in which Tattva, what should we say, Prabhuji?
It's a great question. Maybe Nandini Mataji and Prabir Prabhu are there. They'll answer this difficult question because.
Prabir Prabhu, I think you are most qualified.
Well, sorry, Krishna. I'm not qualified, but what I learned from reading Prabhupada's book. See, Radharani is Krishna's internal potency. Like Krishna is a three potency. One is his existence, or which Shat. Shat means the form. Like just simple example, like our form, this body form is Ashat because it's going to be destroyed. But Krishna's form is Shat. The potency which actually helps Krishna's to existence at the same time, it helps Krishna helps in Krishna's pastime. Like example, we will see later. Srila Krishnadas Govidas Goswami is saying that Mata Pita Bhojan Shojja, all these are Krishna's short bit potency, a short potency. So this is Krishna's internal potency. And like the way when Krishna comes, he is, even if he is in the material world, but he is not touched by the material things. The same way his internal potencies are also like that. So but Lord Shiva is different little. Lord Shiva, that's what, if you remember from Pran Govinda Prabhu's lecture, that Krishna cannot directly come in contact with the external energy, because then external energy is not going to stay. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj was telling that actually in the last, when he did the seminar, that Krishna cannot, because he, as soon as the material energy come in touch with Krishna, they will be like, is like a touchstone. I mean, it's going to be like all internal. So that's how Vishnu comes as a Shirong Jathadi Bikaro Vishesha Yoga. Bikar, Kir become Bikar, and that's what it transformed into Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva comes in contact with the material energy. So Krishna's internal energies are like Krishna, like his paraphernalia, his dham, everything is, Satchidananda. And Chit potency is the potency which actually give us the knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the knowledge we gather, that is from the Chit potency. And the Chit potency actually Jogomaya. We will see later, it's coming. Jogomaya Chit Shakti Vishuddha Sattva Parinoti. Tar Shakti Loke Dekhaite ei Rup Raton Bhaktagoner Gurodon Prakot Kulo Nitya Lila Hoite. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, and Prabhupada gave nice explanation there. So Jogomaya is the Chit Shakti. And then Haladini Shakti. But if you want to say that, just one example I will give you. Like a table has a form, but table doesn't have any consciousness or knowledge. So it is little lower. Now you take any living entity, starting from an ant, a virus, a bacteria, all of us, we have a form. Then some of us, our consciousness, our knowledge is little better. Some of us, our knowledge, consciousness is little lower. And according to that, we kind of superior or inferior. But none of us, we are not permanently blissful. Human being is the highest in the all living entities, among all Krishna's living entities. But human being, we are not always blissful. Nobody can say that he is happy all the time, like Krishna. But when we contact with Radharani or her devotees, we get that bliss. So that is the part of the Radharani. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was saying, Prabhupada was saying here, previous verse, that Radharani gives pleasure to Krishna, also gives pleasure to his devotees. So if you look at among the three internal energies, Radharani is little highest actually, in a way you can say, because somebody can have a form, but they may not have the knowledge, they may not have the bliss. Somebody can have the form and the knowledge, but they may not be bliss. But if someone has a bliss, then that person or that person should have other two, have a form and at the same time knowledge. So our acharyas actually didn't say Radharani is Vishnu Tattva, but Radharani has a different, very esoteric position actually. I mean, she can be, everybody actually takes shelter of Radharani. Even Lord Shiva takes, there is a nice bhajan, Munindra Binda Bondite, by Lord Shiva is chanting about Radharani. So basically very esoteric position. Her, I mean, it's inconceivable. So I just humbly like that we don't need to go into that part. It's very esoteric, that we can say. I mean, it's our, and that's why it says, Jodi gaur na hoito, tobe ki hoito, kemone dhoritam deho. Shri Radharo mohima, premo rasho sima, jagote janate kego. Actually, if Mahaprabhu wouldn't have come, nobody could explain what was Radharani's position. And Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the previous purport, through Srila Swarup Damodar, he gave those knowledge, and from his diary we can come to know about it. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you. Nandini Mataji, please correct.
No
and
problem.
add.
Thank you so much. Very nicely on the spot. I found a room conversation, November 11, 1971 in New Delhi. So Prabhupada was asked, is Radharani about Radharani Tattva? And he said, some are Vishnu Tattva, some are Jiva Tattva, and some of them are Shakti Tattva, and some of them are Paratattva. So then devotee asked, what is Paratattva? He said, Prabhupada said, Paratattva means Krishna, Rama, Narayana, and Vishnu only. These are Paratattva. And Bhagwan Narsingha, Vamandev, etc., they are Vishnu Tattva. And then he came back to the topic. He's saying that Radharani is Shakti Tattva. And he's a Chitta Shakti, like Prabir Prabhu just said. By the way, very nice question, Sudhir Prabhu, and I can send everybody this in the paragraph in the chat. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very detailed explanation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, very nice conversation. Okay, so we'll